Yeah, you just gotta go live so I can mute you.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Drawn Talk. It's your boy Tyler, guys. Today we have an awesome show. We have an awesome lineup of people in the house. We're going to be talking about variant covers. Are they the cancer of the mainstream comic book industry? But also, are they the saving grace of the indie comic book industry? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, without further ado, guys, let's freaking hit this up. It's Drawn Talk. Let the music play. Drawn Talk. Alright, guys, welcome to another episode of Drawn Talk. If you're new to the channel, remember to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. We got 10 people in the house, and yeah, we need at least 10 thumbs up. Guys, we have an awesome show planned out. I'm actually going to be drawing while we're doing this show because I'm on a deadline for Undead Row. I got to get these pages churned out. But I want to really quick introduce my guests. We'll go first with Travis, Spencer, and then Larry. And then, yeah, so Travis, please, go for it. Introduce yourself.
Yeah. I am Travis Gibb. As my local comic store calls me, the indie superstar. I think they may be blowing smoke a little bit. I created Broke Down in Four Dead Bodies, Dog Days, and a few other projects. That is who I am. I do tons of indie stuff. Issue 2 actually just came out. This is being shipped out for those backers. We're doing all sorts of cool things. We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Boom. Spencer?
Yes, I am Spencer, aka Spencer Toons, on all of the social medias and trying to get into YouTube. And yeah, I'm just doing like indie comics at the moment, so I've done a few Australian indies and working with a couple of guys now. So Larry is one of them.
Nice. He's good people to work with. And then go for it, Larry.
So I'm an old-time fan of I finally got the first one out. Do the comic book Niobe. I'm shipping another comic book currently called Avani. Here, Mike, why don't you grab one of those puppies right over there? I'm gonna have a stockpile of this beautiful creature right here.
Ooh.
Right? Oh yeah, variants. We got variants.
We've got variants,
Oh
as
man,
we're speaking of.
damn, we got blank variants. We got a cosplay variant. Oh man, we even got a chibi variant.
Oh, snaps.
We got it all now. And it's all going in the mail. So anyone who's waiting, be patient. It's coming, man. It's coming. And then we're working on a brand new Niobe story called Birthright with an awesome Brazilian artist named Samir. And if you follow me on Facebook, you would have seen sneak peeks of the pages once in a while that we're doing. But right now, the current thing, Tyler, is Niobe #1, the reprint on Indiegogo with a special variant cover. Funny that we talk about variant covers tonight. By Mr. Josh Spencer, who's right here on the panel.
That's me.
That's awesome. Guys, I put the links for both Niobe in the chat, so please go check it out. Oh, go for it.
One more man to introduce.
Oh, yeah, frick, man. Go for it.
This here, can I?
Absolutely.
All right, this here is one of my oldest friends in the world from 30 years. We used to bike across this. Josh, did you just fart? Thanks, Josh.
Right?
We used to bike across the
I've got
bridge
the button, Mike.
when we weren't allowed to go into the city. Spend our lunch money on comic books.
Oh,
Not only
wow.
have we kept that friendship alive for 30 years. We're both still doing things comic book related because not only do I do my book, but my friend Mike here is editing comic books as well. He writes for the website called Leading Fool.
And if you guys want to hear the story about our bicycling across the bridge to get our asses kicked later with belts for going over to Moncton when we shouldn't have, 2 weeks ago I have a Saturday column called Stanley's Soapbox Revisited. For anybody that misses Stanley's Soapbox, I've opened up my long boxes from 20 and 30 years ago. I'm going to be revisiting some of Stan's old soapbox entries for everybody for a little bit of nostalgia, and I'm going to relate some stories directly related to my comic book experiences over the years through his soapbox. It's a piece that I miss, and I think that there's people out there that miss it as well. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about that story of me and Larry and the actual comic shop that we're talking about, if you go back to June 29th, Stan Lee Soapbox Revisited for me on Beautiful, you will see that story.
You can open it if you want. I'll explain it.
All right, sweet. So let's get into this. I had
Experiences over the years through
I had
his
some people say that
I miss, and I think
I got the audio messed up on, but it looks like everything's fine now. All right, so guys, we're talking about variant covers today. You know, Travis Gibb here was the one who prompted this. He was like, you know, Travis, tell us about what happened as you're sipping your. Tell us about what happened. What prompted you to message me? And then we're just gonna dive into this, and it's funny because I have 4 people in here who believe in variant covers, and then there's Tyler.
Right. So I had a really cool experience happen to me, and I really wanted to share it with people because and it wasn't even about variant covers at the start. It was really about knowing your value. So I went to SuperCon, which is a Reed Pop Con. For those who know what a Reed Pop Con is, that means it's like a New York Comic Con. That's people run that. So what I did was I went there in this comic group. If anybody's a collector in the group, there's a group called Comic Elite. They sell tons of comics online. They start at 11 o'clock at night, and they will go live, and they will sell hundreds of comics of variant covers and this and that. Well, they asked me, little old me, hey, do you have any variant covers that we can sell? And they bought a whole bunch of them at premium prices. So they bought them at what I would sell them. So for instance, this is my issue 2. I've sold them issue 1. I sell this cover for $20. It's an artist edition. They bought it from 10, and they sold it for 50 on their show. Same thing with these other ones. This one would go for 10. This one would go. This is my standard for 5. They were selling all my stuff at a premium, and I thought it was such a cool thing because we see our value as a $5 book, and some of us don't even feel we're worth $5. I've heard many indie guys go, oh, my book's only worth $3 because of this, and that. So, that's what came about. And
well, it's actually interesting you say that because I feel like us creators, like you say, I think we put our worth in our book based off the page count.
Right.
Based off that we know, oh, it's a 20-page book, therefore my comic is only worth X amount. And I think as you know, all of us are in this indie revolution, we're actually learning that a page count doesn't matter. Page count doesn't matter in the worth. I mean, it's definitely got to be quality, but yeah. So I have a question though. Why were people buying it at such a high price? Do they know you? Do these people who are buying it know you, Travis? Do they, or were they just like, this is a collector's item and I'm gonna be the one that has it, no one else?
Well, so for me, strategically, I do something when I do a Kickstarter. So I have 3 covers. So this is my standard. This is by my interior artist, Felix. So I start with that. And then I always get a pro cover. So for issue 1, I had Carl Moline, the guy who does Buffy. For this one, I have for anybody who's a Scout comic fan, this is Electric Black's cover, Rich Woodall. He also does a lot of Ninja Turtles cover. So this is my pro cover. And then I grab a guy who's really big in the indie scene who gets a lot of exposure. This one, for anybody who likes it, is Jim O'Reilly. Big guy, talks in a lot of the chats late at night. If you go to Buster's chat or Chester's chat, he's on that. He also does Upper Deck stuff. So I have one cover by a guy named Frank Uzin. Frank Uzin is huge on Instagram, and they really wanted that cover. And with it, they bought all the rest of my stuff. So yeah, they just heard about me.
Interesting. All right, there we go. I'm back. That's crazy. Before I bring it on to Larry Spencer, I just want to acknowledge those in the chat and those who are watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got some opinions real quick. We got Wendy Gale in the house. She says, my thought on variant covers is absolutely. Art is subjective. Everyone who sees your book is not going to be drawn in by the main cover. Variants attract a large audience. As long as it's cost effective, do variants if possible. That's my opinion. Jeff Weber in the house says, what do you consider the comic industry? Is it the retail direct market, or what goes on there really doesn't impact me? That's true. And then he also says, as a consumer, it just gives me choices. I don't feel compelled to buy them all. And then Wes Nadell, the writer and creator of Undead Rogue, also currently on Indiegogo. Guys, go check that out. I'm the artist on it. That's what I'm drawing right here. I can't show you guys this page, though. It's a spoiler. He says, I like variants to a degree, but when there's 10 to 12 different for one issue, then it's a problem. It's too much. And then we have Good Dog Press in the house, Shinobi Raccoon, Dono the Gamer, Zach's Art Channel, Spencer Tunes. Oh, Spencer's here, duh. Zach's Art Channel, Alan Ellsworth. How you doing, Alan? Ichthus. And yeah, let's just, and we got the Wonk in the house. And yeah, guys, if you guys feel like this is an interesting conversation, feel free to share this on your social media, on your Twitter. Let's get as many people here. The reason why I used the Black Cat as my thumbnail is Black Cat #1 ordered around 200,000 copies. Right there, the J. Scott Campbell cover. Such a beautiful cover. And people are saying, wow, this was the most sold comic, and yet I did some research. There was like 10 to 12 different covers. So obviously there's a demand to order so many for these covers. But is that hurting comics? Larry, I'd like to open that question to you, since I don't know.
Well, clearly I have the book.
You bought it, yeah.
So I'm one of the 250,000 people that bought it. Now, granted, that cover is not a variant cover. Right,
that
cover is cover A. It's the standard cover done by J. Scott Campbell, which is half the reason why it sold the way it did. Okay, let's just get right down to the brass tacks here. J. Scott Campbell is a top tier variant cover artist that is widely successful and highly in demand, and he does Black Cat like no other. Okay,
he does women like no other.
He draws the sexiest Black Cat on earth, man. Maybe Michael Turner will come close to it, right? But he's got that high level of fame, J. Scott Campbell has his own web store where he does a variety of variants, and there you are paying upper tier prices, $20, $30, $50, $100, depending on the print run of the variant. But that's cover A. That cover alone sold me on the book. I haven't even read it yet. I bought the book because J. Scott Campbell did it, As far as retailers having the order insane amount of copies to get that 1 out of 100, I think that's something we're all aware of now. That's part of the industry, and it sucks if a retailer does order a ton of comics that they can't move, that ends up in the dollar bin or the 50-cent bin, and that does happen quite a bit. So in that way, variants do kind of oversaturate the market. But at the same time, variants are a nice alternative. There's been times where I spent 20, 30, 40, even $50 on variants before. And as a creator, I certainly use variants as a selling tool in my campaigns. And sometimes, we charge a little bit extra for those variants. It's all part of the business. People like to have something different and unique. It's bragging rights, to some people, if you have like a 1 out of 100 variant. I know I have a few. Sometimes these variants do go up in value. I sold a Greg Land variant for Edge of the Spider-Verse #2 for $1,000 Canadian on eBay.
Wow.
I bought it for $20.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wow, that's amazing. So guys, so clearly there is demand for variant covers, but as y'all know who are watching, we're in indie comics. So here comes the question from Specs Vision. Do pro covers really draw more people to your comic? Travis Gibbs says that he would like to answer this in the chat. And then I'm going to ask Larry, and then I'm going to bring on Spencer as someone who does who's doing these variant covers. Go for it, Travis.
Yeah. For a Kickstarter, I think it does. It works in two spots. So it doesn't help you sell a lot at your individual table unless that person's at the con, because nobody tends to care. I mean, unless you can afford like probably a big name right now who's kind of in the middle of the road. It's like a Ryan Kincaid or a Derek Chu. You can buy their art for about $700 to $1,000 to get their covers, and those would be worth it. But it does add a little bit of credibility to your comic book. So if you can get one of these guys who've been doing it for a long time, you can pay between $200 and $400, it does add some credibility, and it does help you when you're at a con show, because these con people know who these people are.
What do you mean by credibility?
It brings close to your comic that someone of that caliber would do a cover for you, even though you just paid them, right? They'll take money from anybody, but it adds credibility to what you're doing, that it may be more valuable because Kyle Mullen from the guy who created Frey and Buffy, did a cover for mine. That added credibility to my comic. The guy who's doing Electric Black, he's really, really big with Scout right now. I also know, and I don't think it's a secret, but he's doing one of the 100 variants for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like the 1 in 20. So that builds a big credibility to my book that, oh, these other people who are big are also part of this. So it adds some credibility to what you're doing. Does it have a huge draw? Not really. It does probably bring in, I don't know, 30 to 40 backers, I would say.
Hey, well, we'll take 30 to 40 backers. Larry, have you seen an increase with your comic sales because of your use of variant covers?
What do you think, man? That's a hard one for me to answer because I think our cover A's by RB White, he's basically our pro that we use.
I think that having RB White did add a little bit of credibility on your second, starting with your second run, because it did entice a lot of people to say, okay, well, it's just exactly like Mr. Gibbs just said. Well, why is that guy doing a cover for you? And there must be something here. And at least if you can get them at the table to turn the page, well, you've pretty much got them.
Here's the thing, Tyler. I'm gonna show you something. And you've seen this before, but this will maybe help strengthen. I think Travis's point as well here. I'm gonna show you the variant cover. God, that didn't pop up. I'm gonna try and show you the variant cover for the new Niobe.
Which is, by the way, wait, have I seen the variant? I've seen the main cover, I think. And that's actually going to bring up another question. This freaking... Let me lock the screen, actually. This is just straight sexy.
Beautiful.
This is totally on brand.
So I want to show Josh's cover, but this here is done by a pro, okay? When we talk about having a pro work on your book and having that name recognition associated with your book is huge. Now, we just talked about a little while ago, J. Scott Campbell. Well, Mr. Paul Green here is very much has a style similar to J. Scott Campbell, as you can tell. And Paul Green has done a tremendous amount of work in the industry, including working with Brian Pulido for Lady Death covers, variant covers at that. He's also done a lot of Zenoscope, Grim Fairy Tale exclusives for conventions and things of that nature. He has a huge following, name recognition. The second name that's associated with this cover is Ula Moss. And if you guys know who Ula Moss is, she's one of the best people that does color in this industry. She's right up there with CC De La Cruz, okay? And so they both have a strong fan following. And I'm hoping that Travis is right and that, having these two pros, lend their name and their talents to Niobe does sell extra books. And I think this cover will. I think people are going to want this Paul Green cover because it's Paul Green, and hopefully they enjoy what's inside.
So let me ask you this. As a consumer, though, would I be... Have you guys ever gotten drawbacks, though, from someone... when someone buys your indie comic, sees this cover, and then opens it up, and it's not necessarily pro interior artwork? Has that ever happened? Yeah,
it has happened. But that's why you got to keep leveling up your game as indie creator, right?
Gotcha.
So, I mean, my first four, we were amateurs. So I'm still an amateur, but my artist has never, been in the industry or anything like that. I had a talk with that artist, and we decided to go with a different artist now for Niobe, and he has done comics. And we're also, instead of doing black and white, we're going full color now, right? So our game is leveling up, and but I think, when people buy an indie comic, that they're aware that they're buying an indie comic, especially if they're at your table and they can flip through it and have a look. They know kind of what they're getting before they buy. And if you're buying off of, say, a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, I mean, you're always going to have, hopefully you have some of your interior artwork on display on that page for people to see. You know what I mean? So that they do know kind of what they're getting into before they get into it,
All right, Spencer, ask you to bring you in. First off, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you here. What are your thoughts on variant covers and your take on just doing cover work in general?
I'd agree with everything that Larry was saying. Some people buy variants just for the cover itself. They don't care about the comic inside. Some people buy multiple copies of a book for that reason. They'll buy the main A cover and then they'll buy a variant cover. It really depends on the artist. Like, J. Scott Campbell is probably one of my favorites, and if he's done one, or like Mike Mignola, if he does a cover, then I'll probably grab that cover just because it's by the artist.
One of the variant covers that I wanted to get, not because I was interested in the book, but I really liked it, was, do you guys remember the really controversial Batgirl variant cover?
Yeah,
From The Killing Joke.
Albuquerque. Yeah, absolutely, I remember it. It had the Joker holding her and, kind of like this terrified look on her face. And the reason why they banned that cover was because of its graphic nature and,
brutalizing women.
the victimhood of women and stuff like that. I think, and this crosses the controversial ground, Tyler, a little bit. But I think that cover should have been allowed because I'm not a big fan of the censorship of art thing. But also, if the Joker is holding you captive like that, you better damn well be terrified. That's the Joker you're messing with.
And she knows. I think another thing was they were paying homage to Batgirl's history.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was why they were doing all those.
Right?
And that's a huge part of her history. Yeah, it was a little creepy, but I mean, like, she's overcome it. I mean, she's walking now. Go her. But yeah, for sure. Let me get into the chat real quick. Thanks to everyone though who's been watching. We have Dillard Draws here. How you doing, John Dillard? I haven't heard from you in a while. We got Rizzy Lee in the house. Ape Sapien. Shinobi Raccoon says, I try to get covers I like, but I frankly buy comics if I'm interested in the story. That's how I'm feeling. That's how I feel personally. What's actually funny, though, is I think a lot of the orders that we've gotten on Undead Row, which is currently on Indiegogo, link in the description, as well as Niobe #1, link in the description, is we have Wes hired a pro comic book artist from like the 90s to do an awesome variant cover for Undead Row. And I think the first 6 people who backed our project backed it off of that book. They wanted the variant cover and the normal book. They wanted that package deal. And that surprised me. Because people want something extra that others won't have. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Travis?
I mean, that's how I sell my books. That's how I get the campaigns and the numbers that I get is I have a system of, you buy this book, and if you want this cover, you have to get this cover as well. And then if you want this cover, you got to get this cover as well. So I build them in a system and with a tier of money to get them involved. And it's really just to help me. It's to help me get funded.
So you stack them. It's not like you can't just get these variants individually. If you want this variant, you better buy the original and the variant.
Correct.
That's really smart. What do you think about that, Larry?
It's not always best for the consumer, but I mean, it works. It's a good system for comics. And what you got to remember when we're doing Indiegogos or Kickstarters, people are trying to fund you. So they've decided how much you're worth. I don't think they always choose the cover or whatever. They're like, I'm willing to spend such and such dollars on this project. So you've got to give them variables to spend that such and such dollars.
Yeah, you're really big on that, Travis.
Yeah.
Larry, what do you think?
What's the question again, Tyler?
Sorry, as in, how do you stack it with your variant covers in your campaigns? Do they have to buy both covers to get the variant cover, or can they just buy the variant cover separately?
Well, funny you should ask that. No, I let people get things separately if they wish. I do it all, right? You can get cover A, or you can get a combination of cover A, cover B, cover A, cover C. You can get all the covers. I think maybe one of the best things to do to explain how I do it is to actually show you how I do it. But that's going to take me a minute to bring up. So
you're good. Because for me, I've always struggled with variant covers, and keep in mind, I've only started doing crowdfunding. All my books have been published by an indie publisher, and when Insane Comics went down, I was like, flip, I have to start crowdfunding now. So Demons Volume 1 and Volume 2 are my very first crowdfunded projects. Demons Volume 3 coming out in September. We'll be showing some more art and the work of that starting next month. Will be my third campaign, and I think after that, the next campaigns will start having variant covers. I mean, you guys are converting me.
Well, I'm available for commissions.
So there we go. Hey, I know your work, so there we go.
But
Well,
Tyler, think of it this way too. I want to point out this at my table when I'm at a con. I have various. I'm not dictating what people want to spend. If they want to spend $5, they can spend $5. If they want to spend 10, they can spend 10. If they want to spend 20, they can spend 20. I have various pricing models for them based on the client. And they want a digital, I'll give it to them for free. I don't care. It's building that brand, and you are selling yourself out because you have to sell a lot more $5 comics. I know for you it's a trade, but you got to sell a lot more of the lower tier, to get to where you need to go.
yeah, that's another struggle with me because I don't crowdfund or put out floppy comics. Most of my books are 80 pages plus. If not, it's like so far all of Demon's ones have been over 100 pages. So I don't want to do any variants on my graphic novels. But maybe if I had, like, let's say there's only going to be 50. I'm only printing 50. 1 of 50. Do you think stuff like that would work?
I've proven that it works. Yeah, I mean, just today, this cover, this and the other one, I made $150 at a store signing just by selling these stuff. It's a good day, and that's how you do it, is by having various options. Of course, a whole bunch of people bought the $5 ones, but anybody who bought the 20, I could sell them a whole bunch of options. And if you want this hand numbered one, and then I'm like, oh, well, this is a pro guy. This is from Electric Black. Here's what he does. Oh, well, I want him. He's going to blow up big. You're building in that speculation, which is no different than the comic stores are doing to you when they come in and buy your Venomized variant. Today's big one was Captain Marvel 8. There's a new villain that could be valuable today. So everyone was trying to get Captain Marvel 8. It's all speculation and trying to build that brand with them.
Interesting. All right, so let's pull up. Let's go and lock on to Larry's screen real quick. All right. And
this is the Niobe #1 reprint Indiegogo. And so what this is, Tyler, is, this is a reprint, but we're offering a special Indiegogo exclusive variant cover by Mr. Josh Spencer. And you can see part of that image right there on the main window.
Looking sexy, by the way. Looking sexy.
Looking pretty sexy. The reason why we're doing this is because I get a lot of people since I've joined Twitter asking me, LP, how do I get Niobe #1? LP, do you have a website or anything like that? And I did have a website for a while, but no one was using it, right? So I just kind of shut it down. It was a Store Envy website. So what this allows is some people that I met within the last year or two, the ability to get Niobe. It also allows me to try a different platform to see if it's, something I want to use in the future. This is my first run on Indiegogo. Typically, I do Kickstarters. I've done 5 Kickstarters. This will be my first Indiegogo. So we're going to test the waters and see how it goes. And so this is a very simple Indiegogo. We're only asking for 2,000 Canadian. We're 49% there, so we're halfway there. And, we're offering the Niobe #1 digital. Now, all these prices are in Canadian, so they're actually cheaper for you in the U.S. when you go look at it on your end. But we have the Niobe #1 exclusive variant cover by Mr. Josh Spencer right here. We have the original first printing still available. We charge a couple dollars more because, well, they're rarer now. We have a blank variant. I love blank variants, guys. Like, if you take these things to conventions and you love getting art done, then blank variants are kind of the way to go. There's double trouble. So if you want the first printing and the second printing, say you're a collector like I am, then you'll probably want to do that. The Niobe World Tour, that's for people international. So if you're outside Canada and the US, say you're in Australia, like Mr. Josh Spencer or Risey Lee, no relation to Niobe Lee, you can get that inside joke between me and Risey.
Absolutely.
I see the Wonk in the chat too. Good to see the Wonk. Manny's in the chat from
Nice.
Good Dog Press, Skunk Girl. I'm on a variant cover for Skunk Girl. Speaking of variant
Oh my
covers,
gosh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
All 3 covers, dude. We have T-shirts, the Niobe Chibi T-shirt. We have all 3 covers and the Niobe T-shirt. And then, like I said, throw in your original interior art, on the campaign so people know what the art looks like on the inside, so they know what they're kind of getting into. And stretch goals, brother, we got them. If we hit goal, everyone's going to get the Niobe Chibi button. If we get to 3,000, everyone will get the original Niobe Rockstar print. And if we get beyond that, then we'll start announcing some other cool stuff. But that's just a basic look, Tyler, at how I do it.
How are you liking Indiegogo, by the way?
It's weird in the sense like where Indiegogo will charge your backers right away.
Yeah.
Where Kickstarter waits to the end of the funding period to collect. And so I think, some people are hesitant to back on Indiegogo because they go, well, I don't have the money right now in my bank account. Where if it was Kickstarter, they go, well, I don't have the money on my bank account right now, but I will at the end of the month, so I can go ahead and back this, right?
For sure.
So people are a little bit more tighter with money on Indiegogo because it's going to come out right away.
For sure. Sure.
So it's more counting dollars at that point. And I say, if you have a whole month to kind of prepare for it. That's the big difference.
No, for sure. And yo, guys, I'm telling you, I've read all of Niobe. I got my Avani rewards. I'm actually reading them this weekend. I have a stack of indies to read this weekend, so Avani is on that list. Super excited for it. If you're part of the cult, the Ferk Gang cult, which is a drawn talk cult, I just trust me in this comic as your leader of the Ferk Gang, that this is a good comic. I'm super excited for Avani. Larry has never disappointed me yet. He's never disappointed me yet.
I'm worried about a bad review from Britain.
Dude, Britain is the scariest person to ever review your comic.
And by the way, here's the Josh's cover right here in its full glory.
Josh's cover is beautiful.
Right? And so me and him worked together on this, in the off airs, and I watched this whole thing come together from scratch to finish. It was a beautiful process.
Wow, that's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. I want to
get back. I've drawn a Niobe as well. Avani.
Oh, you've also did Avani?
Yeah, he did a print for Avani, which everyone is getting if they are a physical backer. That was one of the stretch goals.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. I realized I forgot to post this video into my Discord, and so now we're getting some people from my Discord coming in to watch, which is good.
The more the merrier, brother.
The more the merrier. Real quick, I just want to. We're gonna take a quick segue, real quick. The Wonk says that Larry disappoints me all the time.
Oh, Wonk.
Some real quick announcements, guys, for the channel is that starting next year, we're doing a Patreon. If you're part of my Discord, you saw it, or on Twitter. We're doing a Patreon, and it's very creator centric, where we're gonna be doing a lot. If you subscribe to the Patreon, it's going to be a lot about helping you as a creator. So more on that. And then also, we got 24 people watching, but we only got 12 thumbs up. Remember to smash that like button. And if you're new here, smash that subscribe button. So Travis, I'm boiling in my 90-degree house, and I try to keep these shows around 30, 40 minutes, but I just love talking with you guys. I want to know what everyone's plan. We are in the summer of 2019. I'm going to ask each one of you guys the same two questions. We're going to go with Travis and Spencer, then Larry, and then after that we'll just goof around for the remaining time. What are your plans? What is your plans for the rest of 2019, and then what is your plans for the start of 2020?
So my next upcoming plan. So we have a big con called Tampa Bay Comic Con. And it happens, it's really funny. So I swear to God, to everyone who's listening to this, Tyler and I were supposed to do this last week. Is that correct, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were supposed to do this last week. So this week, on Monday, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Come on, people.
Sometimes, Travis, I think you're technology illiterate.
Yeah, I don't know. I own a web design company.
I know what you do for work, but yet you're like, I can't get into Skype. My laptop's this. I can't do this with Google Hangouts. And I'm like, really?
All right. I own a web design company. I do know tech. I don't know what's going on my internet. All right. Anyways, so I just signed my first con exclusive book. So Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. I have a con exclusive cover.
Oh, nice.
They're buying 100 of them. It's called Wicked Gator Comics. I'll just put it in the chat and someone can share it. It's super cool that happened. So that's my next big thing is selling issue 2, pimping the crap out of this. I then got another Advocator, which is going to be the first thing not broke down that you're going to see before Dog Days comes out.
Yeah, the Advocator is a good project. Just not to interrupt Travis too much, but everyone needs to be back in the Advocator. It comes out every 3 months, bro?
Yeah, it's quarterly. Mm-hmm.
It's quarterly. And so in the Advocator, it's a collection of different independent comic book stories, usually 8 pages to 12 pages long, something like that.
It's anywhere from 4 to 11 or to whatever you put in there. But yeah, it's mostly 4.
And I keep talking with Rob Anderson. You guys all know Rob Anderson about getting a Niobe story in there at some point, and looking forward to doing that. And people who backed the first Advocator digitally would have gotten Niobe #1 digitally. So I'm a big supporter of the Advocator.
No, I appreciate that. So in the next one, I'm actually announcing my next project, the follow up to Broke Down. So the first teaser story for that is going to be in that, which is really cool. Later in the year, I've got October. I'm going to announce Broke Down 3. And then beginning of 2020, I'm going to finish up Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies, get it into trade, and then you guys get to see what I have after that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds cool. Here's the thing. I always wondered if we should do a trade. Do you guys find that is the market now? Not to switch a whole different subject on your show, Tyler, but
that is a whole nother subject. But that's a really good. Well, we actually did that. We did a live stream about graphic novels versus floppies, and we came to the consensus that you can make more money selling a graphic novel faster, but that there is demand for floppies because you can sell them at a lower price point, which means you can influence more people. That's
not the only reason for demand. I'm going to throw something else at you, right?
Here we go.
Well, this is coming from the speculator collector's market point of view. Is trades and graphic novels never go up in value, generally speaking. There are exceptions, but floppies do. Especially if it's a first appearance or an important moment, or if it's a limited variant cover, as we've been talking about. Especially if you go and get them CGC'd or something like that. You know what I mean? And so I think people prefer floppies in that regard in some ways because if they're a collector and they collect as a comic book investment reasons, or they're flipping on eBay. That stuff sort of matters.
Does that mean that any comic by Mags Visaggio is considered a collector's because there's not many of them?
Well, low print run.
I think you might. No,
it's not.
Sweet burn.
Sorry, I don't try not to get political or burn. I just thought it was funny. Sorry.
I'm gonna answer your question honestly. Maybe because low print run comics are rare, right? That's why comic books go up in value is rarity. Okay, that's why you can still find Jim Lee's X-Men #1 in every single dollar bin around the world because they did 8 million copies. The definition of not rare. When you do 1,300 copies of a book, well, guess what? That's an extremely low print run. They're harder to come by, so sometimes they do go up in value. Look at examples like Rags. Great example of low print run comic. How about Walking Dead #1? The reason why Walking Dead #1 is worth so much money right now is because when Walking Dead started, no one gave it the time of day and no one bought it. It had a low print run.
And now look at it.
Yeah, I didn't order it. I ran a comic store and I literally didn't order it because why would I order a black and white zombie book?
Right. Turned out to be the biggest phenomenon in the last 10 years.
And now in 2019, that Walking Dead, the black and white zombie book is over. You can now get Undead Row, which is a black and white zombie graphic novel on Indiegogo. Link in the description. Before I get to Spencer real quick on this question, Massive Panda says, when you guys launch a new campaign, do you always include perks where you can get the old issues so that new backers and followers can catch up on your storyline? I'll answer that and then I'll let everyone else answer it and then we'll get back to what we were doing. Is for me, I always, for Volume 2 of Demons, I also include a Demons Volume 1 perk. And when I do Demons Volume 3 in September, you'll have the opportunity to buy both Demons Volume 1 and 2 digital and physical. Travis.
No, I hate new readers, so I want to make it as quickly as possible. So if you want issue 2, I'm not sending you issue 1. I don't care about you.
If you missed issue 1, where were you at? Go for yourself.
Of course. Why would you not do that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he's right, for 2 reasons. One is you want your readers to catch up. So if someone is new and they're just tuning in, yeah, obviously they're going to want to read the first one and what's next. But at the same time, just from a business standpoint, why wouldn't you want to make more money, right? And put those books back out there and sell more copies.
I'm so glad that you actually brought that point up, Larry, because I was actually about to say that for my Demons Volume 3, my goal is to up my previous 2 campaigns. you know, as I've grown, I hope that more people's interest in demons grows. However, with that being said, my profit's probably not going to be as much after everything. Even if I get more money from the Indiegogo, a lot of that is going to be to reprint Volume 1 and Volume 2 because of, you know, fulfilling Kickstarters, Indiegogos, and then doing various store things this year. I'm almost done. I'm almost out of my demons because every time I go to a store thing, I sell a bunch. So you got to think about that. You know, I think I heard a creator actually once say, Travis, I forget who he was. It was like 2 years ago. They said, no, if you miss the first campaign, you know, you're just going to have to get it from someone, because they didn't want to use that money to reprint issue number 1.
Well, they should have printed more.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that creator in a while.
But I mean, to go back to what Larry said, the reason why we do this and the reason why we do these individual issues is to build in the trade. You get more money out of the trade as a creator if we sell a trade and we do the floppies first. Not when you do an original graphic novel like Undead Row, but which is live on Indiegogo, by the way. If you didn't know, I'm backing that. But if you have the floppies, you build that, you can help resell it and recoup some of your money that you may have lost on the earlier campaigns while you were paying for the art and things like that.
For sure. The Wonk says, I'm not going to listen to any bad mags talk. Spencer, what is, and guys, those are excellent questions, by the way. If you guys have any more questions, this is the panel to ask them. Guys, like I'm telling you, we have a cult. The Ferk gang is a cult for the Drawn Talk peeps, and you know, once I start handing out the certificates for high priests, you know, these guys are probably on the lineup. I mean, Justin Ori and Ichthus are already in the cult. I already promised Justin 7 concubines. I said 5, but he wanted one for each day of the week. He got a little greedy, but we gave it to him. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask them. Spencer, what are your plans for the rest of 2019, and what's the biggest first plan for you in 2020?
All right, so for the rest of this year, if the Indiegogo goes ahead, I will be working on a comic book called Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, and that campaign is going to launch in a week or so, or pretty soon. I'm not.
Rest of
I'm not sure exactly on the date. I'm terrible at remembering things, but it's going to launch on Indiegogo, so keep an eye out for that and back it, and then I can be drawing for the rest of the year. And then in 2020, I might work on some other projects if people contact me. But what I really want to do is start working on my own books.
Dude,
and
Spencer,
I got a few ideas.
Are you in this rut, Spencer? You know, you and I were artists. Are you in this rut where you would rather just do your own stuff, but you know that drawing other people's stuff pays the bills?
Yes, and I am super critical of my own, like, writing and ideas and stuff. Like, I think about scenes and how to do a scene and how to do a story, and like, maybe I can do this, or if I do this, I'll have to do that, and like, I just think about it too much instead of actually doing it. And if it's like terrible, it's terrible, you know, like, instead of I should just do it.
Dude, you
Shia
got
LaBeouf.
it. You got
Shia
this.
LaBeouf.
Let me tell you something about Megawatt and the Vampires book that he's working on. It looks sweet. Now I got Josh to do the cover art, and you know, wasn't sure, you know, and I'm going to tell Josh this, and I think he already knows. I wasn't sure how well he was going to be able to handle interiors of a book, but I've watched Josh and Matt Mers put this thing together almost nightly in off airs for the last 3 months. Okay, and man, Josh, you're doing a hell of a job. And Josh is doing, you know, like, he's doing the colors, the ink, the drawing, and, you know, and Matthew's very hard on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Josh is taking direction from Matthew, who's not an artist, but at the same time, you know, that he wants to make sure that the product that they're making is going to look the best that it possibly can. And I think it does look really sharp, and it's going to be a really cool Indiegogo when it comes out.
Well, hey, you know, you have to hit me up.
I will.
Let's see. We have the Wonk here, by the way, preaching about how bananas are good.
They are good.
Bananas are
They're
good.
full of potassium.
Dude, I have to eat bananas because, like, I don't get enough blood flow in my legs, so I need that potassium game. All right, Larry, what are your plans for the rest of 2019 and going forward 2020?
Well, I think what I got on the screen is telling you a little bit of what's going to happen.
Dude,
here.
it's looking great. I love the updates.
So
I love the page you just sent me today.
Well, yeah, I haven't shown that one to anybody yet. Just a couple of people. That's a 2-page splash that I sent you today.
Oh, that's
Of a
2-page?
Yeah, that's gonna be 2
Nice.
pages. Yeah. That's just the roughs that you've seen today, brother.
That's
You
the
know
center.
what I mean?
That's the center spread on the staple.
Yeah, it's gonna be the center spread. But this here page, obviously Niobe's confronting some riot squad, sort of police. Something's going down, but this is kind of like the new style that we're doing, and this is going to be full color too. So it's we're halfway done already, Tyler. Like the speed of this book is just moving. You know what I mean? And
That's
so
exciting.
I'm figuring by the time August, September rolls around, this will be a Kickstarter launch.
Oh,
like I'll go Kickstarter.
You'll
again,
have you think you'll have the book fully colored and everything by then?
I don't know if it'll be fully colored, but it'll be well within the works. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be ready.
Well, Flip,
It'll be
that's
well
awesome.
underway. So yeah, I'm very happy and pleased with and this is just a sample of I don't want to show everyone everything, otherwise they've seen the book, but you've seen pretty much the first half of it, Tyler. But it's gonna be cool, man.
No, I'm super excited. For it.
I mean, this is what's gonna carry me into 2019. We're doing a 2-part mini series, and then we'll see what happens after that. Like I'm just kind of concentrating on this particular book right now. And that's it.
That's smart.
Should I be sending Tyler my art too? Is Tyler the approval? Do I have to show him all my work?
I just get excited, Travis, when I have something new and I just got to show a couple people. Like I so want to post it on my Facebook page, right? Like, hey, look what I got. But if I keep doing that, everyone's going to see the entire project. But I like showing Tyler and a handful of people just to kind of get their feedback.
Travis, that's actually part of, if you want to be in the cult, you must send all pages to me so that I can review them.
See,
Yeah,
I
that's
actually just asked Tyler to do 2 pages for me. Instead, I didn't know I was supposed to send him my art as well. I'll do that next time.
Can I say,
No,
Travis?
I'm getting his feedback and just showing them what we're up to, and especially if some people are, like they run YouTube channels and stuff like that. I like them to know where we're at, and they want to bring us on for interviews and stuff. Like it's good.
Travis, Travis only sent me like 2 sentences of what the 2-page story that I'm doing for him is, and I'm like already freaking out because like 4 of those things are stuff I'm not good at drawing at. Like the other day, Travis, I kid you not, for my warm-up drawing, I was like, I'm gonna draw a motorcycle because I know eventually I'm gonna have to draw a motorcycle.
Well, dude, let me tell you something about drawing motorcycles.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Thank you. They are a pain in the
Still
ass.
struggling with it. This is Tyler. This is the 3rd artist I've had to do this story, bro.
Yeah, because no one knows how to draw motorcycles. Like, I literally, you know what I had to do? I'm going to be honest with you, Travis. I downloaded a 3D model. I paid $1 for it so that I can digitally draw over it, and then I can put the person on it.
Can I show you another spoiler?
Yeah, do it, please.
All right.
Yeah,
You
screw
keep
you,
talking
Travis.
for a second. You keep talking for a second. I got to find the
Yeah,
picture.
let me just, no, seriously, I just those 2
Go
sentences.
ahead, you can go ahead and tell him the few pages that I told you because they're complicated things. And Tyler was like, those are 4 different concepts, and we have 2 pages. I was
Yeah,
like,
like from what I remember, it's just, and this is like what haunts my dreams at night, especially while I'm driving. Like I'm driving to work, I'm like, how am I going to pull this off? I'm looking at various like big trucks. I'm like, am I gonna have to draw you? Big truck, but I have to draw someone in a semi while there's like a biker gang behind them, and then they crash into a building. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm super jealous of artists that can draw that kind of stuff. Like,
And I sent Travis samples, and my samples are like people talking in a bar and then getting stabbed in the neck. There's no cars. There's no chase scenes. I'm really good at talking heads.
yeah.
well, you shouldn't have said you liked the movie that I asked you, whether or not you like the movie.
I said it out of like yeah, I like the movie, like duh. Yeah, so I'm it's definitely scary. Let's see, we got Carl's amateur hour in the house. Carl, I haven't seen you in a while, but Carl, I love your artwork, and I feel like you and I have like a love for Mega Man together. Let's see. Now Zach's art channel says I'm gonna try and draw a motorcycle. Yeah, good luck, Zach. Good luck. I like that. That should be a what's it called? One of our monthly challenges. Draw a
This is
motorcycle.
a beautiful motorcycle that Jim O'Reilly did for this alt cover. Look at this motorcycle.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that, dude.
That
You're not gonna. You're not gonna get it at that angle. I'm gonna do basic. It's just gonna be the side, and then on the wheel, it's gonna be engraved. You have to zoom in. It's gonna say "Fuck you, Travis."
So here's another page from the new Niobe.
There. Okay. See, that's a good motorcycle too. By the way, that the first and last panel are breathtaking.
Yeah, it was
I'll
good.
slow it up a little bit so you get a better look.
Let me lock the screen. Hold on.
no,
Let me.
Some Kirby
How I have
Dust down
OBS.
there.
I don't know if you guys see how I have OBS, but there we go. It's looking
So there
good.
she is, ripping in the action, opening a portal, and she's heading somewhere to do something.
And you know the trajectory that you're on, Larry. Like, I'm super excited for what the future of Niobe, because you're going to be churning out books faster.
Well, you know, with this new artist being full color and having a Paul Green variant to go back to the original topic, right? Like having, you know, Ula Moss and Paul Green lending their name, plus RB White, plus Samir, plus I got Steph Wilson too, guys. Did you know that? You guys know who Steph Wilson is from Facebook, right? He's got that Dan Mendoza sort of style.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know, we see Rob Anderson promoting Steph quite a bit. Steph's done work now for Tom Hutchinson over at Big Dog Inc. and stuff like that. Well, Steph Wilson is also going to be doing a variant cover for Niobe. So it's going to be cool, man.
I could connect you with Carl, the guy who does Buffy. He'd probably be a great fit style-wise.
Yeah, man. Brother.
Privately.
Yeah, hook me up, Travis. You know, I'm always down, like, you know, to have options, man. Right now, I'll be honest, we're looking to see who's going to color this thing. That's the hunt we're on right now. So if you guys got recommendations for people that you like to use for color, like hit me up with their samples and rates. I'm looking at everyone, and you know, I'll be picking someone hopefully soon. You know what I mean?
Dude, I would totally throw my hat in the ring if I wasn't so damn busy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have considered you too, brother. I'm looking for someone to do this. I want them to be able to match Samir's style.
Speed.
And well, yeah, and speed is important too. Yeah.
But guys, if you guys know any colorists, hit me up on the Discord or Facebook, and I'll send them over to Larry. Because
But job for somebody.
Mine's affordable. If you like the broke down, I'll send you issue 2.
Yeah.
Dude, look at all this freaking networking here, guys.
Actually, did you back it? You may have backed it. I may send it through the backing. I think you may have backed it. I'll just make sure I send out your package.
Yeah. So, you know, job available for somebody here.
Boom. All right, hey guys. So as we conclude the show, updates on the channel. We're finishing up Undead Row, currently on Indiegogo. In September, we'll have Demons Volume 3, the finale of Demons. It's been a good run. And then, like I said, 2019, we're probably going to be opening up a Patreon. And then let me just go through these tiers real quick, and then we're going to end the show. Thanks to everyone who's been watching. We have, for $3, you're going to get access to an exclusive show, an exclusive podcast, and an exclusive 24-page comic that is Patreon only. It'll be physical. It'll be sent to you. $5 a month will get you. You'll be part of Drawn Talk Publishing. This is still in the works. We're talking about it, but we'll put your digital comic on our website. You'll be part of my emailing list every single week. We'll promote your work. We will email out your comics to consumers, and we will then send you 100% of the profit. We're basically hosting it for you, and then you also will get a video review of every comic that you put up there. $10 is a swag box. You get everything below, as well as some extra goodies, merchandise, art, and potentially other books that I have. And then $25 will be consult and create, one-on-one help with marketing, creating the comic. And that's still in the works. They're not 100% on all of these things, but these are just ideas that my wife and I were talking about today, and I was talking about with some others on Twitter and the Discord with the Furk Gang.
How's it said? The Furk Gang?
Furk.
Spell it.
F-U-R-K.
F-U-R-K. Furk Gang.
Furk, yeah.
Damn.
Because I'm trying not to say the F word, and so...
Yeah,
so like that stream that I did where I was like, I don't give a furk.
Right. I got you.
It seemed like it was broken.
What?
It seemed like your F word was broken that night.
Yeah, no. No, man.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I don't give a furk, man. And I don't know, I was pretty upset that day at my comics being delayed. So...
You seem to give a furk to me.
All right, we got Tank Ferret. All right, we're gonna end with this last comment because this is just beautiful. It's from Tank Ferret. He says, "I've read Niobe #1. Top recommendations. Niobe #1 is currently on Indiegogo. Link in the chat. Link in the description. Go check it out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank everyone for being here. We're gonna go around the clock. We're gonna go around the panel real quick. Let everyone know where they can find you on the social medias. Travis, where can people find you?
Broke down in 4deadbodies.com. You can find me on Facebook as Travis Gibb. You can find me on Instagram at Jester Lou. And before you move on from me, I have one question for Spencer. Does he want to be hired or not? Because I'm not sure if he wants to just do his own thing or we should be setting him work. I'm very confused.
Spencer, do you want to be hired or do you want to just do your own work? Choose ye this day whom you serve, Joshua in the Old Testament.
I would like to do both and everything. Yeah, definitely.
Spencer, do you read the Bible? You cannot choose. You cannot live and choose with two masters. Pick.
Well,
I will work for you, master.
I'm just messing.
Absolutely. I will bow down and
I plan to have Josh Spencer tied up for a little bit as well here in the near future.
Competition. Flip a coin.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all. I want to get to the stage where I can say no to people and be, I don't want your project.
That'd be a nice place for all of us. Spencer, where can people find you?
At Spencer Tunes on Instagram and Twitter, and on YouTube whenever I decide to post videos.
All right, when he decides to post videos, everyone smash that subscribe button. Larry, where can people find you?
Well, Rebel Comics on YouTube. If you just click the three little dots by my name there in the chat, it will take you right over there, and you can click subscribe. If they're gamers, Tyler, I do this small little channel called Rebel Gaming, where I live stream games all the time with people like the Wonk, who's in the chat. He's often on the program with me. So shout out to the Wonk. Shout out to a lot of people in that chat, man.
We had a lot of great people in the chat.
Oh man, dude, good crowd tonight. Good crowd, man. Zach Channels art in there, Tank Ferret art, the Risey Lee, man, Alan Ellsworth, man, Specs Vision, Carl's Amateur Hour. The list goes on and on here as I scroll up. Cub Wiz.
We had upwards of 26 people at one point.
Yeah, brother, your channel is rocking. Congratulations, by the way. I said this to you 100 times, about 101. 1,000 subs. You're growing. I want to talk to you later about how you got your intro and the draw talk and how you set that all up in OBS, because I would love to do something similar. So pick your brain on that a little later. Niobe Comic on Twitter. Obviously, Niobe #1, the reprints on Indiegogo. We want everyone to go and check it out. The tiers are reasonably priced. Nothing's going to break the bank here. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And then what about your friend, Mike?
Well, thank you for having me on, Tyler. I always
here, Wonk. By the way, you want to see this Wonk? That is the cosplay variant. That's
the cover for you, Wonk.
That's the Avani one. All right,
so we just packaged that one up just for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's gonna be the Wonks right there.
Yeah. Just want to thank you for having me on, Tyler. I enjoy. We hang around with a few of these people there occasionally, so it's nice to have everybody together again. Great topics as usual. If any independent creators want any exposure, any editing work or any collaborative work, of course, most of the people that I work with over at Bleeding Fool, they're more than happy to get DMs from you. Most of them are involved in their own projects, but if you have anything you want pumped, please reach out to them. Other than that, I want to wish everybody the very best on the projects that are ongoing, projects that are upcoming. We want to hear about them. We want to see them. And we know Tyler and others in the channel are more than likely to show us and inform us of all the latest updates. And thank you very much for that.
Can I just say something about your website, Bleeding Fool?
Yes.
I love Bleeding Cool, and I love Bleeding Fool. I'm not getting into any politics and such because that's just BS. There's no politics, and we're just talking about comics. Can I just say that your guys' site is not AIDS ridden?
Ads
written?
Oh my gosh, ads written. I just go on Bleeding Cool, and it takes me 10 minutes of clicking and watching before I can finally read and then on the phone it's just cancer.
Well, it's pretty terrible, and the only thing I have to say about that, Tyler, is that our site is specifically ad free. We do not take any ad from anybody. Therefore, our opinions are our own. We are not swayed by sponsors, by sponsorships, money, and so on. We've had some meetings where people were like, "Well, we could get an ad space for." No, Everybody controls their own IP where we are. All we do is submit to editorial and legal oversight in order to be hosted on the site. The site is a free speech platform. We do not make money for what we do. We are in it for the love of the community. So thank you for allowing us to have a voice in your space. And if you guys need help with that voice, please let us know.
Can I do one last plug, Tyler?
What? Yeah, go for
Rebel Comics live in about half hour.
it. Yeah, Rebel Comics.
Yeah.
Boom, everyone. You better go to Rebel Comics on YouTube. Sub if you haven't, and make sure to be there and watch.
I don't know if you guys are busy, but you guys always know you have an open invite.
Yeah, Matthew Rice comes in and says, "Hell, did I just show up at the end?" Yeah, unfortunately.
You did. Matt's a great guy, though. I love talking to Matt.
Matt is a good guy, and I think I can't be on, but I think him and Wes Nadell are doing a show tomorrow on Matt's channel to promote Undead Row. So thanks, Matt, for having him on. The Wong says, "Come on, Tyler, but just don't talk on Max."
I'm sorry. I'm going to be on the Drawn and Quartered fan edition tomorrow over on Chester Busby's channel.
You are?
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
Drawn and Quartered fan edition, Niobe, tomorrow night.
Wow, that's awesome. Chester's good
I was
people.
on that show. It's good.
That is hilarious. What, Travis?
I was on that show once. It was really good. And Bleeding Fool, like, I really give a lot of credit to helping me fund for Broke Down #1.
No, that's
Like,
sick.
it's a good site.
Thank you.
Boom. And then after this outro's taking 15 minutes. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to sub to this channel. You can find me on Instagram at Draw and Talk, Twitter, Tyler_C_world. Go back Undead Row, go back Niobe #1. Get ready.
Josh Spencer.
What?
Josh Spencer, where can they find you?
Spencer on
Oh,
Tunes.
I've already done my shout outs, but I also just realized it's the Cheesecake Challenge soon. So
Oh,
I'm
right.
gonna head over
Jimmy's on.
to Slick Jimmy's
Guys, it
channel.
is such a good time to be in indie comics. There are so many things happening.
It is.
Just make sure that
I
you're at
might
least
be
supporting
drawing
us people here.
Shout out to Skunk Girl from Manny, by the way. There's a variant cover. Speaking of variant covers, there's a wraparound variant cover that features a bunch of characters in the indie scene right now.
Oh, I saw
It's got-
that.
It's got Niobe on it, Avani on it, Sugar Lightspeed from Slick Jimmy's Little Girl Lethal. It's got a couple of YouTube personalities on it. It's a really cool cover from Tank Ferret Art, who's in your chat. He's the artist that did that.
Dude, Tank's such a good artist. All right, guys, we're cutting this. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. We'll be coming out with a video on Friday. We'll be coming out with a video on Sunday, and then we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Let's smash that music. Here we go. Drawn Talk.